Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I'm going to hop into this hourly rapid arena and just share my train of thought along the way. So we'll see who we get. Game 1, Team Black. All right, I'll hit E4 head on. We got a King's Gambit. All right, I almost always go ahead and play this D5 move, Falkbeer Countergambit. Preparing to meet this with that. This would be a blunder. All right, I think I'm already in a new position. Don't think I've seen this one before. All right, well, a lot of pawn moves so far. Yeah, so if this, I was going to do that. And on this, that would be a blunder because of that one. So how do I react to this? There's two attackers on this. Thinking I just go ahead and take here. And then if queen takes, I could take here. I wouldn't be upset about going uncastled. And in this position, if the queen takes here, I could block with the queen. Feels like the pawn on f4 loses any effectiveness it might have if the e pawn isn't around. The duo isn't there. It just gets in the way of the bishop. So I don't have to worry about this. In a line like that, I'm anticipating that my knight will be pretty healthy here. On f6, can't be challenged by the bishop. And I could also look forward to just a couple nice squares. No pawn around to control the knight. So also this here I take with the queen. I'm defending a pawn. Yeah, I think the way to go here is you just go ahead and take on d4. So both the lines have been opened up for my bishops with my two pawn moves. Same with white, but again, we have this pawn that's interfering with the bishop. Okay, so we are getting this. Now if I try this move, bishop pin, let me just double check this idea of going uncastled. I think this is quite all right. Not so easy to get this pawn back. Convenient defender. So if it plays out something like this, my king is here. Knight c3, knight f6, controlling the knight. This wouldn't be a problem. I have c6. And also bishop here, I'd probably still be playing c6, preparing to meet castles with king c7. This is going to be my king's home in the event I go uncastled. So I should be okay going uncastled. Okay, good. Oh, the white is going for that line, so none of us have a piece out yet. I'm up a pawn. Oh, I could also maybe consider this one. I have to be careful though. Do I want a connected pass pawn? Because this is happening fast. I should really lean more towards development. My king safety. Maybe first I go with this one. Yeah, I'm going to go with this one. And we may just be getting this, just different move order. Yeah, there is that one as well. Am I okay taking on doubled pawns? Bishop e6. The alternative king here seems a bit too slow. I wonder if maybe I should have started with that. No. Slightly uncomfortable. All right. This take double isolated pawns, knight c3, c6, queenside castles, king c7. There's this idea to try and collect the pawn, but I do have a disrupting move in that position. Knight d5. The fork, or maybe even bishop here trying to bother the knight. If the knight tries to get into this square, I could chop on c3. So I need to get some development in. Not ideal. I would like to have it all, but I can't really have it all. What I mean by that is I'd like to be up the pawn and have it be a perfectly healthy pawn, not a case of these double isolated pawns. Okay, knight is going in a different direction. Well, interesting move. So a downside with this is that knight is not controlling this square. I have to also pick up the pace. So if I go here, isn't there a bit of a problem? Possibly. I'm going to try this. I know I'm not developing a new piece. I'm going to go with this, because if you preserve the bishop, I have this fork. Bishop here, I have this. This might be the best move. It's played. It may just be giving the pawn back. Wonder if I return now and say that the knight is inconvenienced, doesn't have a great square? Or do I swipe that bishop while I can? That was maybe too soon, what I did there. All right, at this point, I don't think I have anything really. All right, let me try this one. Pressure on the pawn. Okay. I'm gonna take. I don't like how I'm playing this game. I'll give the check. I've only strengthened the pawn structure. My opponent's playing fast and solid, and I have nothing right here. Another solid move. I'm gonna get kicked around here with b4. Okay, a check. Gotta play faster here. King is hiding. Okay, that feels like a bit of a mistake to allow these pawns to be fixed on dark squares. I don't like that I have this half-dead pawn. I'm gonna go here. If my rook is captured one day, I'll be happy. I don't believe I have anything here. Also in a pin. I'm going to stop knight here. Opponent continues to play fast. Let's get out of the pin. Maybe here. I'm not going to be able to challenge a knight on e4, so... Okay, that move. Wow. Maybe I step up here. Now that there isn't the knight on e4. Scary. A big jump, very good coordination. Okay, things change a bit here. I'm going to take with the pawn. As mentioned. Straighten out the structure. Still tricky to work around a piece right here. I mean, they got perfect coordination on e5, and I'm way down on the clock. So watch out for a check on this square. Let's remove this. Big decision here. Any time going to be spent considering? Pawn takes, I'm hiding. If knight takes, I'm challenging. If rook takes, I'm probably playing this, and then looking to challenge the rook next. Yeah, so here, no knight checks. This move? No. Okay. I go here and then here? Guess. Scary, this tricky knight move. Or this tricky knight. Cover my 7th rank. I could have maybe considered going in here. The thing is, I don't have a whole lot of time. Well, let me take a moment. I think maybe I should be going for this right now. Because I have my 7th rank secure, my base points. I'm not seeing how this pawn is challenged. This is a serious threat now. Check here, I have to watch out for a knight fork. Okay. I think I could make inroads now. Oh. Here, 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 here. Take. I don't have time to calculate all that. I should get out of the fork here. No, I should stop that knight move to the center. It's too powerful. Seeing this here. Some tricks. Right, let's make inroads here. I want this exchange. If I could get that exchange, I'd be really happy. That feels like an error. Challenge the knight. I only have a minute. Then here I could take with double check. And then play bishop here, controlling the knight somewhat. The knight's not going to bother me. 2 squares away from my king, that arrangement. Where to go with the knight? Here I have this. The rook is nearly trapped. 1 square. This arrangement, the knight checks, bishop covers both of them. So my king is pretty secure there. I'll go for this one. Double check. Bishop e3 is my idea. Next up here and start collecting pawns. I think if I just duck forks, I should be winning. Because this rook is not active. There's only 1 weak pawn. I have these 2 covered. Let me enter here. Try and kick that rook off of my bishop. Go hunting like this as well. There are checks for the knight with my king here now. Wonder if I should flick this in before taking the pawn. We'll go for that. That was maybe too quick of a decision, giving a big check. I have that. It's playing on instinct, very little calculation, which is certainly tricky when we're Working here with, okay, I think, oh, wait a second. I had this move previously. And that forces a fork. So rather than this, king is kicked to this now. I'm getting the rook. Don't like how I played that opening, and I thought my opponent played really well. Till this blunder here. Well, it was getting a little bit out of control beforehand, but there was really nice coordination and watch out for the tricky knight forks. Dark and light. No forks. 30 seconds. Okay. Swipe here. Take this one first because I want the passer. Everything is defended here. And I could pre-move that. And pre-move another pawn move. And I could probably pre-move another one. Yeah, how could I have played better that opening? I think it was very silly for me to play knight d5, moving that piece a second time. Yeah, the king e2 follow-up was perfect. Why did I think the bishop really needed to move? Yeah, that was silly. That was perfect. And in the end, they collected the pawn. I just have to watch out for stalemate. From here, 13 seconds. I'll take follow-up check no matter what. And we got mate. All right, one more game. All right, game 2. How about a c4 game? Alrighty. Oh. Alright, I played this, I've seen this just the other day. I had a game where my opponent played with these two pawns early. What's running through my mind here? This was the first thought, but I don't like that the knight develops with tempo. So I still want to play this, but I'd rather it be the pawn that recaptures. So I want to challenge this duo as soon as possible. Okay, now I got what I wanted. I wanted to see this pawn move. Because now this knight is excited about this square. This is a setup that I really like. H4. This isn't nearly a losing move. I think it's structurally one now for me. I have two good squares now for my knight. This is way too weakening. Yeah, this knight is really perfect on the edge here. Now, because there's these two good options here, may want to retain them and focus on development. Now, what does black want? Black probably wants d5. I may be okay with that. The pawn may end up dropping. I may want to make the decision to immediately improve the knight. Because here's the other detail. I'm ready to force black to go uncastled. And in fact, that's what I could have happened. Also, knight f4 of d5, this pawn will end up being lost, I believe. Chop, chop, queen b3, there's no bishop e6 because of the knight, and also the pressure on b7. So I'm going to immediately go into this square. I think of the two, this is the better one. Not really, there's not a great follow-up idea from this post here, so going uncastled. All right, but I have this one within either this or this, and there seems to be an accident really, really close by. This is tempting as well, but I think the way to go with that king right there, I want to be able to challenge it. So let's get the pawn out of the way. On that, I have the capture en passant, and I should definitely take en passant here. That's the c pawn being in exchange for the center pawn. We got these checks now. Bishop or queen? I'll say bishop. Not sure what else the bishop is going to do. My queen might have something happening here. So king here, it's lost. I think the king had to go back here. I'm winning a full rook. I don't see anything better than that. The king has to go here. Yeah, it's a full rook. I think the way to play it, there, my opponent resigns. I think the way to play it there is going back. Black should maybe really be in position to not flinch too soon with this pawn. So, maybe d6 here, and you could go with this one possibly. See, what I'll sometimes even do is play here and be cool with e4 hitting with tempo even, and I'll go back, still shoot for this idea, but I was able to get that arrangement in a much more efficient manner because my opponent immediately responded to d4 with e4 and gave me this really big square for the knight. So just taking a quick peek here. Once I play e3, what does it have its eye on? Bishop e7 first, but let's still go with the move played in the game, knight f6. After d4, yeah, it says hold your ground, d6, be okay. Going uncastled like in the first game I played. Yeah, it's not a bad idea to go uncastled. King will find a cozy home here. After the response here, e4, still fine. And I'm just a little curious here. What's it saying after h5? It's a big jump. We're looking at plus 0.3 to plus 1.2. It's way too weakening. Yeah, and in this final position, the king definitely needed to go back home. It was still going to be a tough road ahead for black here if the fork was spotted, but yeah. All right, missed the fork there. Don't be too quick to move that pawn duo. d6 was appropriate. Okay, anyhow, I'm going to call it quits right here. Feel free, as usual, to leave any feedback to this video in the comment section below. Hope you enjoyed it, and maybe took a thing or two away. That's all for now. Take care.